Hey everybody, Tim Porter, CTO of ModTech Labs, and we're going to go ahead and go over the mod platform. So mod can be run on a single computer like you're currently seeing right here, or it can be run on thousands and thousands of computers. It just depends on how many systems you have access to. As you can see right here, I'm actually running it all locally on my system, and the core system runs between 11 gigs and 15 gigs. So we're going to do is we're going to sign in. Here's my super secret username and passcode, and then you're put in directly to your welcome page. You have a good overview on the number of credits. Credits are used to process things. So certain processes cost more than other processes, of course, and so they have different credit amounts, and this is how many I have left. Overview on how much storage I have left, how many seats, this is how many users I can have for my project, and then how many workers I can have. So these do processes above and beyond your manager. I can also take a look at my platform license, and I can see how many days I have left and how many workers I can have. So my license says that I have one worker that I can utilize. And you can see it expires in 15 days. You get also a little overview on the system status. So let's go ahead and jump into the workflow builder really quick so that you can see how easy it is to go ahead and make workflows. The biggest part on this is obviously that people want to go ahead and make easy workflows. You want to integrate a whole bunch of different tools, and that's what mod does. It takes one tool, puts it together, and makes little lines so that they go together, so they process together. So we're going to take a look at this overview. And if any of you have worked with Zapier, or you've worked with Scratch, or maybe you've worked with any other nodal based system, it's very similar. Data starts here, goes to the next process, and then goes to the next process down. On each one of the nodes there's information, different things that you can change. So if we had, say, a background extraction process, I could take a look in here and I could see, what model it uses for background extraction, how much alpha matting, things like that. And so those are all in the individual nodes. So what we're going to do is we're quickly going to go ahead and add in some data to the image input so they can do an albedo process, and then we can turn all the data. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a file, and I'm going to run this one. So the one thing to remember is that this is usually used, this workflow builder is usually used as a dashboard, because we're an API first company. You can go ahead and cook into any of these processes externally. So I'm going to go ahead and hit execute, and we're going to talk about how it's running. So I was already running this one in the background for previous showcase, and I'm going to go ahead and run it right now. So what it does is switches quickly over to purple meaning that it's queued, and then it's going to go ahead and start processing. So as you can see, it's flipping to a flashing green, and then once it becomes solid, then it's good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and jump out really quick, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at one that's already been previously run. So the first thing that we want to do is let's go ahead and take a look at the logs. We're going to see what happened in previous runs and versions of this, and you can go ahead and see everything that's gone on in the background. So you notice we have some stuff that's running currently. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a previous version that has been run. So as you can see, you get all the information, what worker it ran on, all of the fun stuff that's gone on here. I can see that it was downloaded, namespace available, issues, there's some warnings here and there. Oh, and even then, there's a little bit of an error here. What's really cool is I can copy and paste this error here or get further information from this LLM that we have built in. So there's an AI assistant that's in here. You can go ahead and copy and paste, and then you can chat with the system about anything that has happened in here. All right. What's next on the list? Well, let's take a look at files and folders. This is just like Google Drive. You can go ahead and create a whole new folder. You can upload files. If I have a file, I can copy it, move it, download it, delete it. Oh, look, our process is done. So this is run 2. This is the one we were talking about. You can see all of the different processes that happened. Obviously, we had an input, and then we had an albedo process. We have file hashes, so everything is done in SHA-256. So you want to know that that one file is that one file forever. So SHA-256 allows you to go ahead and see that, and so you can match that up against regular names. We have a preview image, so you can take a look and go, oh, is this the right file and folder? Sure is. A README, this gives you a quick breakdown on what happened, how long things took, how much RAM, CPU, all that fun stuff. And then if you want a deep down dive, this is the workflow info. It gives you the speed and the time that everything took on every single one of the different systems. So let's go ahead and take a look at now the system area. This is an overview of all of your different servers and what's currently processed. So our core system, which is Airflow, is healthy. You have workers running tasks and seeing anything that's failed, and then I can also see the worker status. You have usage stats, how many of those folders have been shared with people, and then when those shares are going to be expiring. And then let's take a look at an overview of the workers themselves. So you can add and remove workers at any point in time, so long as you have enough workers available and you have enough slots available. So as you can see in here, I have one slot available and I have one active worker. So the active worker has 15 cores, 31 gigs of RAM, one GPU that is 15 gigs of VRAM, and it can do the Q type of CPU, so it can run any CPU related task, and it also can run any GPU related task that has CUDA enabled. We talked about logging just a minute ago. You can even do things like permission audits to make sure that permissions are done. Next is permissions. You take a look at this just like you would in Google Drive, or if you've worked in either folder management system. You can take a folder and then I can add users to them. So I can allow them to be a viewer, an editor, an owner, and what's even better is you can mix and match different permission role capabilities. So I can have a viewer who could literally only view files, or I could have a viewer that could only download files. I can also take the folder, I can share it with anyone. And then if I'm on the flip side, if I'm an end user and I want to understand what is happening, or I need access to a folder, I'm going to go ahead and I can click on here and I can go ahead and request access, and then my admin can go ahead and give me that folder capabilities. So as a admin, I want to be able to go ahead and add new users. So as a platform admin, I want to be able to see different users at different levels, or different tenancies and things like that. So what is a tenancy is, if you think about it as different companies, if you're doing SaaS, or you could also think about it as different groups within your organization. So you don't want to go ahead and cross different files or folders or things like that, and things get muddy and whatnot. You would go ahead and segment them that way. So you can make different tenants. So I could go ahead and add a new tenant, and then I can send an invitation to each one of the different users at each of those different tenancies. If I am not a platform admin, I'm a regular system admin. If I'm a tenant admin, then I can go ahead and take that off. You can do everything by sending an email. I can assign roles. I can give them access to different folders as I'm going along. I can also give them you can continue down and go give them access to 5 folders or only 1 folder, or you can just play along however you want with this. And then you can give them permission templates. So if you pre-create a permission template, you can go ahead and do that. You can see pending ones that people haven't gone ahead and accessed. And then you can create custom plans. So if I'm going ahead and charging people, I can give a tenant a certain amount of charging and cost and things like that, and I can see what custom plans that they have, and I can charge them for different pricing. As well, you have billing. So if you want to do a little bit more simpler version, you can do just a regular billing overview here, and then you can start diving into the weeds really quickly. I can see, how much I'm charging people for pay-as-you-go, for subscriptions, multi-currency support, grace period, all of these other bits and pieces. You also have promo codes, so you can give people, 1,000 points for free or credits for free. I can do free trials, geographic pricing, seasonal pricing, payment setup and system. So we use Stripe as the internal credentials on this, but this can be switched out with anything that you need. So you can charge people via Stripe. And then the last one, this is where stuff really gets cool, is you have email configuration. So you want to be able to send notifications to people, go, hey, look, this is, what's happening, you receive folder access, or these files are done, or anything like that. Obviously, you want to be able to send emails to people to be able to make that happen. Next is secret. So if I am a manager and I have access to a super secret system, but I don't want to give that to all of my employees, I can put in secrets in here, and then they can be brought into any of the workflows and nodes that you saw earlier. Next is a permission settings. This is a global permissioning, which then allows for users, as they're added, to have a schedule for when their permissions expire automatically. We send notifications, you get warnings, and go, okay, you know, after 7 days, 3 days, 1 days before it's all going to expire, we'll send email notifications. As well, you can set how long these notifications or these permissions last for. So internal user, we recommend, you know, a year. And then internal users, you know, your external users, and you end up making it 30 days. So if you have somebody who is outsourced or something like that, you know, every 30 days, just double check they're still on the project. And then you can set automatic revocation on that and give them a grace period. So you say, okay, cool, at the end of 30 days for you external user, we're going to automatically revoke expired with 7 days on that, and you know, or you can make it immediate. They're gone. Boom. Last thing, since we are an API first solution, that means that everything that you saw in this entire demo can be reached via the API. That includes workflows that you've made, processing. I can immediately add on individual nodes. I can take off nodes. I can add in processing workers, take them off. Every single thing can be done via API. You have API keys, so you can add in new API keys. You can create them, and then just like normal API keys, remember, if you don't copy it, then they disappear in here. So that's kind of the easy overview on what mod is, what mod does, and all the fun bits and pieces on it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a great afternoon.